Avoiding conflicts cost me my identity. I grew up in a small town of Vietnam and moved to America when I was relatively young. We're talking about 7, 8 years old. And with my family, virtue is I would always have to be polite. I would always have to keep my voice down in the family when I talk. So I can't be loud. I can't disrespect my parents, and that's of course. But whenever I disagree to something, I'm not allowed to say it. For most of my life, I brought this mentality outside of the family, right? I brought it outside the family and I was afraid to piss people off. I couldn't get into a conflict with another person. Like, I always feel like I'm always just neutral, right? Whenever something happens, I'm just neutral. And if I were to voice my opinion, I would always feel like I might get attacked. I might be judged. I might be mocked at. For a long time, whatever I say, whenever I try to say something cool, whenever I try to tell people what I know, I always feel like it comes out on the other ear. I feel like I'm invisible, right? I don't feel heard. I live a life where I didn't want to be a threat to people. I think I'm gonna die or something if too much people sees me for who I am. And this really fucks me up, bro. Just don't rock the boat. Just always be polite. And I remember this transfer into my other areas in life as well. It transferred to my friendship, my relationship, and with the people that I'm going to meet with strangers. So making friends was really freaking hard because they never really get to know me as a person. They never get to know what I do or what I have to say. And having other people's best interests was one of my biggest weaknesses ever. I was never genuine whenever I try to be interested in another person's life. And they always felt like they have to shy away from me. And this brings in a lot of freaking loneliness, bro. And when it comes to the self-respect area, it keeps progressing. It keeps going down as well because my friends, I always tend to put myself below them and just being so freaking agreeable, right? And for an example, like something very small, I remember one of my friends said something that I didn't really think about it at the time, but he would always try to one up on me, because he was older and he was making more money. And then around me, he's always tend to not let his guard down. Right, and I will always feel like I have to keep up when I'm around some of those friends. I always walk on eggshells. And what do I mean by this is because my friends would always, try to be cool in front of me. They would always try to act like they're better than me at something. You're 20-something now. Couldn't you at least know that? Why are you so slow at this? Why are you so slow at that? How come you don't know this situation about that person? How come you don't know the situation about the world like I do? I remember just smiling it off and not saying shit, laughing at their jokes that aren't even that funny. And most of the time, I just don't want to laugh at all. When you look at the surface level, you don't really think much about it. But over time, being around these friends, it makes you feel really small. It makes you feel like you're not heard. It makes you feel like you're not important. And ultimately, it makes you feel like you're not capable. And that you always have to sacrifice your own identity just to be around them. But at the time, that's all I had. I kept wishing that, if I'm polite enough, if I'm nice enough, one day the good people would come. One day good things would come to me. Good friends, good jobs, good life. But what I found is this mentality made me so miserable over time that I just felt like a hermit crab. I felt like I'm a person without a real identity because I never expresses it. Because of that, I felt really lonely, and a lot of my relationship, a lot of the new interaction that I met with new people, I felt the relationship is very shallow. I felt like I never put myself first, and it affects my ambition. It affects my life because I never apply myself full into something because I always thought that I'm not worthy to be first. And at one point, you hold all this freaking anger in yourself, right? You held all this anger in yourself because nothing goes your way. Because you're just holding on to bubbles that wanted to burst. This got me lashing it out. I would find myself having some anger issue here and there. I would always find myself being angry at somebody or myself. Always wanted the respect that I never had. You say yes to people until they fucking dry you out. You know, you feel dry. Your whole life you just know how to be nice and you just know how to be polite. And you're confused of why you're never getting the respect that you deserve or the respect that you wanted. And you're wondering why you have anger issues. It stems from the fact that you kept suppressing yourself. You don't know how to show up for yourself every single day. It stems from the fact that you don't say what you want. And you couldn't remove from a situation that made you so mad and angry and pissed and sad about yourself for years. And that's what this stems from, bro. It stems from the fact that you kept wishing for a better days, yet you never got it. It stems from the fact that you believe that your value is being nice and that you should put people's first. It should be stopped. Everything here is the fact that we don't love ourselves enough. Everything here is the fact that we've been neglecting our wants and needs for a long time. And if it gets to that point, you know what's going on. I felt like deep down in you, you know what's going on. Yet you don't know how to word it. You don't know how to say it. You don't want to let that way of life go because you don't know what other way of life to live because you're so familiar with it. And that's understandable. But as a person that learns from the harshest fucking ways possible, bro. And if you're at that point, you know that what you're doing, how you're being is not working. You know that there's a little kid in you. You know that there's a little voice in you that tells you to speak up. And you should trust in that voice more. You should listen to that voice more, as it will help you grow more and it'll help you follow your ambitions more and ultimately make you better as a person. And that's what I want to share for today. And if you like the message so far, please consider subscribing. It would mean the world to me. I hope this really helps. I hope it could bring you some comfort and value. And I'll see you in the next one.